Hi guys, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. So it's Q&A time. If you don't like Q&As, you might not like this video, but for those who actually ask me some interesting questions, I have some interesting answers, maybe, we'll see. But also, I want to say, this is not just a Q&A. These were sent to me by my Patreons. Two different Patreons sent me. Seth, my good friend Seth sent me that, and my good friend Felix sent me these ones. I have not tried candy corn in my life. This is a first. Oh my god, they're hard. Are they meant to be hard? I didn't think they were. I thought they were gonna be squishy. Oh my god, guys, I'm trying candy corn for the first time. This might not seem like a big deal to you guys, but for me in Australia, this is a big deal. I'm like very Americanized and I always think about all the American things you guys have and it's just very interesting. Tastes like a pencil dipped in honey. Like a lead pencil. I don't like it. That was disappointing. I'm gonna try these ones. I wonder if these have the exact same things in them. Corn syrup, sugar, glazed shellac. Shellac you put on your nails. Let's try these ones. I have so much candy corn. Candy corn is disgusting. First I want to say I am very thankful for my patrons for sending me this. I did not ask for them and it was a really nice surprise because I've always talked about how I wanted to try candy corn. I'm just realizing now these are the same brand. I appreciate this, but I hate these. And I want to give you guys a tip. If you're not from Australia, Tim Tams, cherry ripes, caramel koalas, these are the things to ask for if you have friends going to Australia. Tim Tams, cherry ripes, caramel koala. They call me Caramello.
Koala. Smooth, flowing caramel covered in delicious Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate.
Now I've got that out of my life. Let's get into the Q&A. I have a lot of questions, guys. Thank you so much. It's really nice actually getting a lot of questions. I remember when I did my first Q&A, I think I got like 2 questions. So it's really awesome. Obviously I won't be able to answer them all in one video, but I'll try and pick some interesting ones. Darkness Demon 8 asked me if I was to make a horror movie, what would be the first type of horror movie I'd make? This is quite easy because it'd be a found footage because I think that would be obviously budget friendly and I could spice it up a little. I actually have an idea for a good found footage horror movie. And I don't want to say it out loud, but I think it'd be really cool. It's nothing like completely different, but I think it's a subject that we haven't spoken about yet. From my knowledge, I don't think they've done a found footage on this and I think it would be really good. Carnage Candy, who's also a YouTuber, asked me if there are any Aussie actors who have gotten into Hollywood fame that I can't stand. I'm sure there's a lot of Australian ones that I can't stand, but mainly like Mel Gibson.
Asshole. But
I do think that's more of his personality compared to actually like his acting ability. Otherwise, I'm all for the Australians. Banshee asked me if I could change my YouTube channel name, what would it be? I actually really like the name Spooky Astronauts. I like it. It's very different and I feel like people don't land on me accidentally. Like you have to seek me out. But I guess I just change it to like Emma. I don't really love my last name, so I wouldn't change it to that. Maybe just Emma. Would that work? Probably not. Shauna White asked, would I rather write, direct, or star in a horror film? I would have said star because my dream isn't to star in a role or anything like that. It'd be to be do a cameo. Like I don't know if you guys know Lee from Drum Dums. He was in Stranger Things for like 2 seconds and it was amazing and I would love to do that. I would just love to be in the background. It's kind of like a wink to you guys and I would love that. But I think now I'd like to direct only because I've been thinking about ideas lately and I just think the way you present ideas is very different to the way you present ideas that you want it to be directed in a certain style. So if I pitch a film to you guys, it doesn't mean that the film's gonna be done in a certain style. And I think that I'm such a stylized person that I would really like it done in a particular way. I tweeted a while back that I have a Spotify list that is just of music that I would put in my own horror film. And there is one song that is the most spooky, haunted, I don't know, amazing song. It's like very like a ghost story. Like I just like the feeling around it and I feel like that would only come from me directing it, if that makes sense. Comic Gaming asked if I could go into the mind of one horror director, which one would it be? It's hard for me because I wouldn't choose someone who's really fucked up because I think that would be really scary and I already have a little bit of a fucked up brain, so I don't think that would go down very well. I might just do James Wan because it's interesting to get not that he's very businessy, but I feel like the franchise and how much he has done off, Saw and like really branched off and just taken over. I think that's really interesting, and to have that mind frame to think ahead, where when I think of stories, I think about them as individual original stories, and it'd be really cool to be able to market that, if that makes sense. I don't really want to go into anyone's minds. If I could go into any director that isn't horror, it would be Todd Solondz, but once again, I don't want to get that fucked up.
Were you playing with my dog?
Brian Snyder asked me what movie made me fall in love with horror and would I ever do a watch me using that movie. I don't even know what film made me fall in love with horror. It was such like a gateway, like from Donnie Darko and stuff, into it slowly. But obviously one of my favorite horror movies of all time is Pet Sematary, and I would love to do a watch with me on that. I love that movie, but I don't know all the facts. I don't feel like I'm very good at commentary. I'm good watching with a bunch of people, which I do every month with my patrons. I'm a very emotional watcher, and very, like, I react a lot in real life and obviously on here. I want to make it clear, I'm this expressional all the time. It gets me in a lot of trouble in real life, but does anyone really want to see an hour and a half reaction to a movie? I guess they want to hear the plots behind it and facts and things like that, and I don't think I could deliver as much. Mia Lai asks me what movie stuck with me the longest afterwards. I would say Dancer in the Dark or Never Let Me Go, which is a film that is rarely spoken about, and I would explain the plot points in it, but it's just so interesting and almost a little bit sci-fi, and it was really unexpected for me and just blew me away. I really recommend checking it out and not really looking into it beforehand if that's possible, because the plot is so compelling, and if I tell you what it's about, it kind of ruins the setup a little bit, but it is like heart-wrenching. And another film that hits me in particular, because I remember weeks after I was thinking about it, is Amy, the Amy Winehouse documentary. I think that film is just disturbing in all the realest ways. And if you're into documentaries and you haven't seen Amy yet, and you're not even a fan of Amy Winehouse, you need to watch it now. It will change your life. Brandon Turner says, I know you love Radiohead, but what are other bands that I like? Obviously, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. Obviously, that does not count as a band, but I am, and I'm sorry about it. No, I'm not. I love Sigur Rós. I love Radical Face. I love Queen. I love the Beach Boys. I know that everyone says they have a weird music taste, but mine is just like all over the place. I really like Arcade Fire as well. But I like individual artists a lot too. So I love Björk, music that makes you feel something pretty much. Emma, oh my God, she stole my name. Asked me, what are your thoughts on Cannibal Holocaust? Did you like the movie? I don't know if I'd be able to watch it. Don't give into the hype, especially if a film is a little bit older. You'll generally find that it isn't as scary as some of the stuff that you watch these days, only because you're desensitized. I'm not saying that stuff isn't chilling to the bone, because The Exorcist is one of the most chilling movies ever. But I think to younger people or people who have seen, Human Centipede or whatever, that kind of stuff doesn't seem as intense. Cannibal Holocaust has a story that leads into it that is very different, and I think that is what catches a lot of people off guard, especially like The Exorcist was for its time. Very different to everything else. And the great thing about Cannibal Holocaust is that it hasn't really been replicated. I know that we have done Green Inferno, but it's not the same at all. Cannibal Holocaust is obviously one of the found footage pioneers. It's known arguably as the first found footage film, so it's really realistic, but if you know all the hype going into it, you shouldn't be too scared. It is an amazing film, I should say that. I really love the film, I'm all for it. If you are scared, there is some great behind the scenes clips I've seen of how they made all the kills, because they had to go back and reconstruct it because the kills were so realistic for the time that people thought they were real. So if you are worried about that, I would suggest looking at that beforehand, and it won't scare you as much, and you'll really appreciate the craft behind it. But I really love the film. I think the storyline's great. I think it's so realistic and so original, and that's what I look for. So I would recommend it. Flemings, I'm not gonna say your first name because I'm gonna butcher it. Thank you so much. Also, I don't know where this is yet. I've just realized that this is still blank. I'll figure it out. But she asks, what movie had me so scared I couldn't fall asleep? Like Goosebumps and Nightmares, Blair Witch, because I was 10 years old when it came out, and that scared the fuck out of me. And recently, Cult, the Japanese film I talked about that I watched in December, really scared me. And I don't get scared easily. especially not like nightmares keep me up all night, but that movie just left me with a weird vibe and felt like I wasn't alone in the house, and I did not like that, or in the hotel room at the time. So I guess it's just, I think it's more dependent on your mood, how scared you get. Also, Paranormal Activity really scared me when I watched it. I'm not gonna lie. I had to make the person I was watching it with come to the bathroom with me because it was so scary and realistic. And I don't care what you guys say, it's fucking scary. That is really funny because all of those films are found footage. Funny. Chelsea asked me, how many tattoos do I have and will I be getting more in the future? Also, what's my favorite horror film in the teenager slasher subgenre? That's an easy answer. Mine is I Still Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream. And tattoos, I think I have 14. And I don't have any plans to get any more soon at all. This has actually been the longest period I haven't been tattooed during. I think it's been like 2 years. Raven House Mystery, who is one of the people who have been there supporting me from the start. I really appreciate you, Raven. I hope you know that. Asked me if I could pick any horror actor or actress from any era to be in my personal horror hall of fame. Say that 10 times. Who would it be? I think that's quite obvious. My lovely Vincent Price, one of my favorite actors of all time, and happens to be in the horror genre. Definitely. Shabosky, who is my friend Vanessa. If you guys don't know Vanessa, go check out her channel because she is the bomb. She does booktube, I guess that's what you call it when you like talk about books all the time, but she also talks about film. And she did a really amazing video on her tea collection that I was so into recently. I would love to do a video on my tea collection, but I don't think it's like horror related at all. She asked me if I had to go up against any horror movie monsters, villains, who do you think you could take and who do you think that you would never survive against? Negan, I would never survive against. I would cry and then die. But in a horror movie, I think that Pinhead would be like the scariest thing to see in real life. He would definitely tear me apart. Jesus wept. And then ones that I would kill, probably the dude in, like, I can just think of recently, like the killer in Open House. I know you don't know who it is, but it just seems so fucking obvious the whole time, and like fucking lock your door, you know? Leprechauns, you could just like chop off their head. I think Chucky would be really easy to just like throw in a closet Annabelle style and like paper the walls up. But I'm sticking to the dolls and stuff because obviously the paranormal stuff is just gonna kill me. I would hate to go up against any aliens. That just freaks me the fuck out. Impression Blend, I'm sure you guys know her YouTube channel. Definitely check it out if you haven't. She's one of my faves. Now that I've been on YouTube for almost 3 years, it has been 3 years now, what would you say your attitude is towards making videos? Has it changed in any way? Do you have any goals in mind that you haven't considered before? Something you'd like to try out in future videos? I have so many ideas. It's insane. It's just getting the time and the resources to do it. Obviously, I'm in Australia and there's a lot of things that get into my way with being able to talk to people and interview people, something I'd like to do a lot more of. I like switching it up all the time, so I'm never gonna stop doing that. I would like to do some more series. I probably want to address this now. I've kind of stopped doing the Real Faces of Horror, not intentionally, but I didn't want to stop doing it, but I had so many bad comments on my other videos, and I know it's not about hate comments, it's about the fact that everyone keeps saying that all my facts are wrong. Apparently I'm not allowed to go off the government reports or the police reports. People get mad about that. People get mad when I take it out of news articles, where obviously that's done by a journalist and I assume that it's like correct, but then there's conflicting articles and it's just a very messy situation. I'd love to talk to more people who have been there or can speak from personal experience, because that's something that's not tarnished and changed in a piece of writing. But I love doing those videos and I'm really sad that I can't do them and people get really fucking mad, and it's just not worth it for me because I put so much energy into a video and then people tell me that it's all wrong. And I want to make sure I'm giving the right facts to you. But I'll find a way to figure it out, so don't worry. They're gone, but they're gonna change in a way, and I'll find a way to bring it back, if that makes sense. A way to make it a little bit different and a little bit more realistic. That was a long-winded answer, but really, I just wanna keep showing you guys films that you might not have thought of. I wanna keep good recommendations up. I want to interact with you guys more. I'd love to do more live streams. If you'd like to see that from me, I would love to give that to you guys. Let me know what you guys want though. Obviously I put in some most lists, you know, like most this, most that, but I'm trying to break that up. I love going to the movies and taking you guys with me. I would just love to do more interviews and more interactive stuff. But it's a new year and I have so much planned. I just can't really say anything until everything's locked in. I just love making videos. Nothing has changed about my process except for my setup. I'm gonna continue to improve this because I know it's not up to scratch just yet. But I'm enjoying the process as I go. I hope you guys found that mildly interesting. And candy corn, not so much. It's kind of like a dream ruin for me though, to be honest. This is a very sad day for me. Please send me your sympathies and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Stay spooky, guys. Bye.